So today we are talking about the good manufacturing practices. Good manufacturing practice, it is a part of the quality assurance which ensures that the product are consistently produced and controlled according to the quality standards which are appropriated for their intended use. GMP, it is a set of principles and procedures when followed by the manufacturers for the therapeutic goods. It helps and ensures that the products manufactured will be of required quality. It is designed to minimize the risk involved in any pharmaceutical production that cannot be eliminated through the testing the final product. And the concept of GMP, it was born in USA and established in 1963. GMP involves all the aspects of production from the starting material, premises, equipments to the training and personal hygiene of the staff. So it includes all the things, that is starting materials also, premises, equipments, training which has to be done to the personals, the hygiene of the staff, etc. A detailed written procedures are essential for each of the processes that could affect the quality of finished product. So whatever procedures, etc., or processes, etc., are required to get a finished product, and it may degrade the quality of the finished product, all such procedures must be written in detail. There must be systems to provide document proof that the correct procedures are consistently followed at each step in the manufacturing process every time a product is made. So, whatever product is being made and whatever SOP is being given to the personnel concerned with the product, there should be a recording system so that whatever procedures they are following, are they ensuring the SOPs given to them, so that that document proof has to be maintained for each step of manufacturing process. Then WHO, good manufacturing practices for pharmaceutical products, the main principles of the same GMP, it is that part of quality management which ensures that the products are consistently produced and controlled according to the quality standards appropriate to their intended use and as required by the marketing authorization, clinical trial authorization, or product specification. So whatever their intended use of the product is there, it should be according to the marketing authorization, it should be according to the clinical trial authorization or the product specification. GMP is concerned with both production as well as quality control, and GMP is aimed primarily at managing and minimizing the risk which are inherent in the pharmaceutical manufacturing to ensure the quality, safety, and efficacy of the products. Under GMP, what all comes under GMP? So all the manufacturing processes are clearly defined under GMP. They are systematically reviewed for associated risks in the light of scientific knowledge and experience. So whatever manufacturing processes are required to manufacture a particular product, that should be clearly defined, and whatever risks are there during the manufacture of a product, then it should be reviewed in the light of scientific knowledge and experience and shown to be capable of consistently manufacturing pharmaceutical products of the required quality that comply with the specifications which are according to the particular country. Then second thing which comes under GMP is qualification and validation. These are also performed as per the GMP requirements. Then all the necessary resources are provided, including the sufficient and appropriately qualified trained personnel. So this is also should be according to the GMP requirement, the qualified personnel and the trained personnel and number of this qualified personnel. Then adequate premises and space. This also comes under GMP. Then suitable equipment and services which are required, that is also under GMP. Appropriate materials required, containers required, and labels required, that also is controlled under GMP. Approved procedures and instructions required, that is under GMP. The suitable storage and transport required for the products, that is also under GMP. Adequate personnel, laboratories and equipments for the in-process control, that is also under GMP. Then under GMP you have instructions and procedures. These are to be written in very clear and easy to understand language, specifically which is applicable to the facilities provided. Suppose the facility is of quality control, then there all the procedures and instructions must be clearly written over there. Suppose this facility is the cleaning department, instructions and procedures must be clearly written in the easy to understand language. So given certain instructions and procedures, and that should be written. Then personnel are trained to do so. So whatever procedures have been provided to the various departments, those for that the personnel who are working in that particular department, they are to be trained to follow these procedures correctly. Then records are made during the this manufacture to show that all the steps required by the defined procedures and instructions have in fact been taken, and that the quantity and quality of the product are as expected. So whatever procedure or instructions have been given to the processing department, those the procedures, when they are following, they have to record their the data for all the steps they are being followed, and then it will be compared whether is there any deviation from the instructions and procedures given, and when it is practically done, is there any deviations. If there are any deviations, they will be fully recorded and investigated with the objective of determining the root cause. So if there is any deviation from the recorded data and whatever the instructions have been given, such deviations will be recorded, and such deviations will be investigated so as to check what is the root cause of such deviations. And when the root cause is being determined or established, then appropriate corrective and preventive action are implemented to overcome that deviation. Then under GMP, the records covering manufacture and distribution, which enables the complete history of a batch to be traced, are retained in comprehensive and accessible form. So whatever records of manufacturing are there, whatever records of distribution are there, all these have to be maintained. It's not like that 4 years have gone and we are disposing of the history of this particular batch. Suppose there comes some problem with this batch later on, then the same batch can be checked out for the problems if it is there later on. The proper storage and distribution of the products minimizes any risk to their quality and takes account of good distribution practices. So if you are storing and distributing the products properly, then it will obviously it is going to minimize any risk to the quality. So this is taken care by the good distribution practices. A system is available to recall any batch of the product from sale or supply. Suppose there comes any complaint about some product, then there should be a recall system so that that particular batch which is posing some problem in the market, that can be recalled. And complaints about market products are examined. So once this recall of batch is taken into account, and when the this deviated product is received by, then all such complaints which are being which were being given, these are examined properly, and the cause of the quality defects are investigated. So whatever the root cause of the quality defects are there, these will be investigated, and appropriate measures will be taken in respect of the defective products to prevent the recurrence, so that later on such problems are not there. So whatever root cause is there, that is to be investigated, and it has to be overcome by certain experiments, so that the same problem it does not reoccur. Then there are certain list of important documents under GMP, that is policies, documents of policies, documents of standard operating procedures, documents of specifications are to be maintained as per GMP. Then a documentation of master formula records have to be maintained as per the GMP. Then documents of batch manufacturing record, various manuals, various master plans and files, validation protocols or calibration protocols, forms and formats, they have to be maintained, and various records pertaining to that particular product has to be maintained. GMP covers the personnel. So first thing which GMP covers is personnel. So adequate number of staff should be available for the manufacturing of that particular product in the particular plant. Then the staff which is hired should be of should be qualified. Then recording of responsibilities are also assigned. So whatever qualified staff has been appointed, they have to be given, or they have to be assigned particular responsibilities, and those responsibilities are to be recorded. It's not like ये आज ये आप कर लीजिए, आज वो कर लीजिए. So they are accountable. So whatever staff have been appointed, certain recorded responsibilities are assigned to those staff, so that these staff will be this accountable for their particular works. And awareness on the principles of GMP is also provided to the personnel. So whatever the principles of GMP are there, so about that the staff or the personnel, they will be given training on the principles of GMP. And apart from that, the staff will be given, or staff will be receiving a continuous training, including the hygiene instructions to be followed during the manufacturing or during the another areas of the company. Then there must be an organization chart which lists the people with the specific duties with the job written on it. So like this, the head of the production department is such and such. Under him, this is a deputy and all. Then under him, who are the staff and what will be the responsibility of these staff. So such a organization chart is also put along with the names of the people with their specific duties. Then key personnel includes the head of the production, head of the quality control, head of the engineering, and quality assurance head. So these four heads are very important in any industry: head of the production, head of the quality control department, head of the engineering department, and quality assurance head. But the full-time heads are with the production head and quality control head, and they work independently. In India, the GMP inspections, these are done by FDA and CDSCO. CDSCO is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. And in Nepal and more than countries, WHO version of GMP is followed. In India, DNC Act 1945, when it was amended on 24th June 1988, GMP was taken under Schedule M. And Schedule M, as you must be knowing, that Schedule M, it has two parts, Part 1 and Part 2, and GMP is put under the Part 1. Then what are the various objectives of GMP? So the main objective of GMP is to eliminate the error, so that you get a quality product. Then to produce the product of consistent quality, to produce the products conforming to the predetermined specific objectives. So whatever objectives were there in the policy of that manufacturing of that particular product, that has to be conformed. Then to minimize the contamination. So all these are the objectives of GMP. Then there are various components of GMP, that is quality management, quality assurance, GMP for the medicinal products, quality control, sanitization and hygiene, qualification and validation, then complaints and recalls, contract production and analysis, self-inspection, quality audits and suppliers audits and approval, personal training and personal hygiene, premises, then equipment premises, materials, documentation, holding and distribution. So these all points we will be dealing in the coming units also. Now, these are the principles of GMP, that is design and construction facilities and equipments. Follow the written procedures and instructions, document work, validate the work, monitor the facilities and work, write step by step this operating procedures and work instructions, design, develop and demonstrate the job competence, then protect against the contamination, control the components and product related processes, and conduct the planned and periodic audits. Then these are the various categories of GMP: sale, packaging material testing, premises, finished product testing, equipments, quality control department, personnel, records, then sanitation, samples, raw material testing, stability, manufacturing control, and sterile audits. So personal training. So what the persons or the staff working over there has to be given some training, so that the quality of the product is not compromised at any step. So for that, a regular and continuous training is provided to all the staffs working over there, whether they are in the technical department, whether they are in the mechanical department, whether they are in the clinical department. So training to the technical maintenance and cleaning personnel are given periodically, so that quality of the product is maintained. Continuing training and assessment of practical effectiveness has to be checked. So whatever continuous training is given to the personnels, assessment of the practical effectiveness is also carried out. Then approved training programs are to be conducted by production head or the quality control head. So apart from this, the production head and the quality control head, they will also be conducting the approved training programs for the staff working under them. Then to maintain the records of the training. So whatever trainings have been conducted for to train the staff, all the records about this training have to be kept. Then specific training to the personnels working in the areas of high hazards, toxic or infectious or sensitizing materials are to be given. Suppose if a company is dealing with certain high hazard chemicals or toxic chemicals or certain infectious chemicals and etc. materials, so then specific training regarding these substances have to be provided to the personnel working in these areas. Otherwise, we will be compromising with the health of such personnel, which is not the goal. Then visitors and untrained persons, they are not allowed in the production and the quality control area. If somebody has to visit the this area, that is production area or the quality control area, untrained persons, such persons are not allowed. And if they are allowed, then they should be well informed in advance about the personal hygiene and the protective clothing, etc. That you cannot go in this area without this protective clothing, or you have to maintain the personal hygiene also. Then concepts of quality assurance and all methods to improve understanding and implementation to be discussed in the training session. Now what this training sessions discusses, it discusses about the concept of quality assurance and all the methods which can improve the understanding and implementation of the various procedures or processes which they will be carrying out. Established, and then comes the personal hygiene. So whatever staff is working in the company, the personal hygiene is also very important. Like establishment and adaptation of detailed hygiene programs related to health, hygiene and clothing of personnel must be there. Then all the personnels, they must receive a medical examination on recruitment, and the company must not engage persons with infectious diseases or open lesions. If somebody is suffering from infectious disease or is having certain open lesions on their body, such persons should not be engaged. And the personnels, they should wear protective garments for specific operations. So if there are certain specific operations which require the protective garments for that particular area, then they must wear such protective garments. Eating, drinking, chewing, smoking, storage of food, drink, smoking materials, medication in production and storage area are prohibited. Means you cannot take all these items in the production area or the storage area. So whenever you have to take the food, or whenever you have to drink water, you have to come out of this production area or the storage area and go to that particular area, which is for the eating purpose or drinking purpose, or so in that particular area you have to carry out such activities, not in the production and the storage area. Then the operators, they must avoid the direct contact with the product and the equipment. So whatever equipments are is installed over there in the departments, or whatever product are being manufactured, the operators must be trained that they should not touch these equipments or the products with their exposed hands. Means direct contact should not be there. Then instructions for hand washing facilities must be given. Then supplementary guidelines about the sterile preparations or hazardous substances must also be given to the persons to maintain the personal hygiene. Then building and facilities. So design, and this covers the design and construction features, how the building must be designed and how what construction materials are to be used. So this also we will discuss later on in different units. So for the time being, the GMP, it governs the designing and construction features also for a building. So building should be of suitable size and at a particular location. It's not like we can open an industry in a residential area. It has to be in a specific location. Then cleaning, maintenance, and proper operations should be there in the building. Then adequate space for equipments must be there, so that it will prevent the mix-ups and the drug product containers, closures, labelings in process materials, drug products. So all these materials are to be, for example, you have containers in your company to, when the finished product is produced, then you have to pack it also. To those packaging materials, they are stored in a specific space, and the other drug products, they are maintained in a specific place. So every item, it has got its own space. Then movement of the components and product in the building must be designed to prevent the contamination. So whatever components and the products which are have to be moved from the, say, raw material section to the finished product section, there must be an adequate system so that it does not contaminate the product. Then specific operations must be performed in specific areas. So whatever specific areas are being designated for the specific operations, there only you have to carry out these operations. Then floors, walls, ceilings, whatever are there, they should be moved so that it will make it easy to clean. Then temperature and humidity control should be there inside the building. That is, air supply through the HEPA filters under positive pressures are used. Then HVAC system is used, that is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning should be maintained. Then sewage, trash, refuse in and from the building, it should be done in a very safe and sanitary manner. And adequate washing facilities should be there, like hot and cold water should be there, soaps must be provided, air dryers should be there, and towels, etc., whatever are required, those should be provided. Then the building should be free from rodents, birds, insects, vermins, trash, organic waste, etc. And written procedures for maintaining the sanitation, cleaning schedule, equipments, materials, etc., should be displayed. So this is about the building and facilities. Then coming to the equipments, appropriate design of equipment should be selected. The size of the equipment should be selected, and where it will be installed or where it will be located, that particular area should be located. Then cleaning of the equipments and maintenance of the equipment. So all these parameters about the equipments must be checked. For if you do not maintain these equipments as per the GMP guidelines, then there is probable chances that the quality of the product will be compromised. Then surfaces in contact with the components in process materials, drugs should not be reactive. So whatever surfaces of these equipments, these are exposed to the processing material or the drugs, these surfaces should be made of such a material that these are not reactive, or it does not alter the safety, identity, strength and quality of the product. Then cleaning and maintenance of the equipments, sanitization at intervals must be done. Written procedures for cleaning of the equipments, etc., must be displayed. Then a specific personnel should be assigned the responsibility of cleaning the equipments. Like one batch is over, then the second batch it requires cleaning, then that personnel has to be given that responsibility in written every time. Then cleaning schedules must be given to those personals. You have to clean this equipment, particular equipment, with such and such method, with such and such material, and at such and such interval of time. So this cleaning schedule, it should describe the methods how that person will clean that particular equipment, which equipment he has to clean, the materials which will be used in cleaning, and methods to disassemble and reassemble the equipment, because some of the parts you have to disassemble for proper cleaning. So how it will be reassembled, so that method has to be given to that particular cleaning staff. Then removal of the previous batch identification. Then every time when a batch is started, the record of that batch has to be put over that equipment, so that has to be removed during the cleaning process also, because the next batch identification will be put on. Then this protection of the cleaning equipment. So once the equipment is cleaned, then it has to be stored unless the next batch has to be started. So that has to be protected well, so that it does not get dirty again. Then inspection for cleanliness before the use is done. So once that equipment is cleaned and protected, and when it is for going for the next batch production, then before starting a proper inspection for the cleanliness of that particular equipment has to be done. Then records of maintenance, cleaning, sanitization, inspections, etc., will be maintained. So whatever steps were used in maintaining that equipment, and whatever steps were used for its cleaning or sanitization, inspections done before the use, all these records have to be maintained properly under GMP guidelines. Then coming to the sanitation and hygiene, it covers the personal premises. So this person, if the persons who are working in that particular section, those should be well hygiene. Then premises where they are working, those should be properly sanitized, and hygiene should be maintained. Similarly for the equipments also, sanitation and hygiene must be maintained. Whatever apparatus are there, whatever production materials are there, containers, production products for cleaning and disinfection, etc. So all these have to be maintained as per the this GMP guidelines for sanitation and hygiene. Layout and design of premises to minimize the risk of error, permit effective cleaning, maintenance to avoid cross contamination, build-up of dirt which may affect the quality. So the designing of the premises, the designing of the building or layout of the building must be such that it minimizes the risk of the errors. So whatever errors which might get inside, if that building is not properly designed or the layout is not proper, then that may result into cross contamination. Dust, if generated during the various processes like sampling, weighing, mixing and processing operations, packaging, etc. So there may be generation of dust also, because certain powders have to be weighed, sampling has to be done, or various operations are which are done, mixing and etc. So dust might be get generated. So we have to avoid the cross contamination with this particular dust which arises of these various operations, and facilitate the cleaning process. Then personnel should be instructed to wash the hands before entering the production area. Various signboards must be used to give the various instructions, etc. So all these, if you are maintaining in your industry or company, then it is easy to get the GMP certification.